Today, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development held a national budget conference at Speak Resort Hotel Munyonyo, from where it announced an embarkment on the consultative process of preparing the budget for the financial year 2025-2026. The conference was attended by different key stakeholders, including government ministers and members of parliament, with Right Honourable Robinah Nabanja representing President Museveni as the chief guest. During the conference, the Minister for Finance Matia Kasaija presented the budget strategy for the financial year 2025-2026. Key priority areas in this budget includes the prioritization of the first phase accelerator actions of the 10-fold growth strategy, agro-industrialization, tourism development, mineral-based industrial development including oil and gas, science, technology, innovation and knowledge economy, plus sustaining peace and security, macroeconomic stability, as well as strengthening government and public sector efficiency.
We propose the following areas to guide the planning and budgeting process for financial 25-26. Prioritizing the first phase accelerator actions of the 10-fold growth strategy, which include 1. Full monetization of Uganda's economy through effective implementation of wealth creation initiative like Pillar 3 of the PDM, Emyoga, the Grow and Invite projects, UDB and UDC support, among others.
The minister indicated how the 2025-2026 financial year budget is to be financed using domestic resources as well as external resources. He, however, indicated some of the risks likely to undermine the implementation process, stretching from global factors resulting in high interest rates to effectiveness of public institutions, especially weak implementation and corruption.
We shall finance the budget for financial 25-26 using our domestic resources as well as external resources. However, as I already indicated, external financing has been on the decline, and this calls for strengthening the implementation mechanism of our domestic revenue mobilization strategy. We are cognizant of some risks that could undermine the implementation of the budget for next financial year.
Different key stakeholders and government leaders reacted to this budget strategy, with some calling for amendments in government business in regards to priorities.
Given the decline in the Uganda Road Fund maintenance grant, several lower local governments have been disadvantaged by the uniform allocation of the 1 billion and the other monies that come from Uganda Road Fund.
All the roads, they have served their time and they are now collapsing. And when they collapse, you know the implication. Connectivity, trade, everything collapses. Why do we wait for the roads to collapse?
In response, the Prime Minister Nabanja, who represented President Museveni, made it clear on how line ministers, accounting officers and supervisors are to be held accountable to deliver on the key priority areas for the next financial year budget.
Line ministers who are supervisors and accounting officers are going to be held accountable to deliver on these areas. Failure under your programs shall be held against you. In conclusion, the financial year 2025-2026 comes at a time when government has committed to lift and grow the economy.
The Prime Minister called upon all stakeholders to pay keen attention to the key priority areas in the next financial year budget so as to guide the entire budgeting process.
I call upon all stakeholders to pay critical attention to the budget priorities for the next financial year to guide the budgeting process. In this regard, I implore all programs to pay attention to the need to align resource allocation to the plans that are ongoing to grow the economy tenfold.
To the suggestions raised by different stakeholders, the Prime Minister pledged to look into them and also directed the Minister of Finance to examine the feasibility of all the proposals.
We have taken note of all your concerns and requests and proposals, including your recommendations. I direct the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to examine the feasibility of these proposals or requests?
We have been relying on external sources of financing our budget for a long time. But as you can see, these sources are dwindling, the external sources are dwindling. So we have to run to innovative ways of financing the budget through domestic financing. And one of such measures is to leverage our available assets to issue long-term bonds.
The 2025-2026 financial year budget is to be driven under the theme full monetization of Uganda's economy through commercial agriculture, industrialization, expanding and broadening services, digital transformation and market access. John Baptista Humza, Church of Uganda, Family TV News at 8.